Dante. We're right here live at AE University. It's authentic or nothing. You're now watching the Tough Love Podcast.
We with Tough Love Podcast.
Tough Love Podcast.
The Tough Love Podcast.
You tuned into the Tough Love Podcast.
Tough Love Podcast, baby.
Jonathan Lindell Kirk, better known by his stage name Dababy, was filmed allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend's brother at a bowling alley on Thursday morning. He can be seen in the video swinging at Brandon Bills, with several members of his entourage joining in the melee. Several people slipped and fell as the brawl made its way down one of the lanes. At one point in the video, one of the unnamed men grabbed Bills by the hair as the rapper who started the fight stood and watched nearby. Bills and his sister, Danileigh, reacted to the fight in their own Instagram posts. The ex-girlfriend, who has a daughter by Dababy, was saddened by the altercation and insinuated that it wasn't a fair fight because the rapper brought a group of people with him to fight one single guy. Bills made a video also calling out the rapper for not engaging in one-on-one conversations when he tried to speak to him like a man. It is likely the fight prompted as a result of another altercation between Dababy and Danileigh in 2021, which took place in front of their child and was captured on Instagram Live. Danileigh was arrested and charged with 2 counts of simple assault and ended up moving out of the rapper's home with her child. She made a post to that effect on her Instagram as well. The post read, "I left and me and my baby is safe. Thank y'all for the support." Following that blow up, Bills took to the internet to defend his sister by appearing to challenge Dababy to a one-on-one fight. The bowling alley brawl could have been the rapper's answer to that challenge, though he did not come by himself as the brother suggested. "When you come to the West Coast, bro, which I know you be out here, you going to catch this one-on-one fade, bro," he said in the video. "One-on-one fade and see what happens between me and you. I want to see how gangster you are, to see how much of a real man you are." That's what Danieleigh's brother wrote in a post. So, I want to give you my take on that. I'm pretty sure everybody by now, unless you stuck up under a rock or just been asleep all day type of thing, know about the baby fight at the bowling alley. So, that stemmed from whatever, him and Danileigh was going through. Obviously the brother chimed in. He wanted to, challenge Dababy to a fight. Which me personally, right? See, this is the whole thing, right? Everybody looking at it from a non-realistic perspective, in my opinion. Like I have sat back and seen a lot of podcast hosts speak on this topic about the fight at the bowling alley, right? So a lot of people were just giving these I guess you could say politically correct answers, man, and I just don't understand why people don't never seem to be realistic about stuff nowadays, right? So the reason I say that is because now the situation between him and Danileigh, of course, we already know. I feel like, when I seen the videos of him disrespecting her on camera and all that, I feel bad for the girl, and I felt that, as a man alone, he shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have definitely made it public. Like, he got a crazy platform. He got a big megaphone. So, for you to put that out there like you just a nobody, like you gonna only get a couple hundred views and, it's gonna get swept under the rug, I feel like he was wrong for that. And that's the mother of his child. I was always raised to never talk bad about my daddy or say nothing bad about my daddy. And to this day, I don't, and I still don't see him, right? So I would do, the same for my son's mom. Like, you ain't gonna never hear me say a bad word about her, no matter what we go through or been through. I would never say a bad word about her. Period. To my son or to nobody else, you know. And if anybody, my mama. But moving forward from that, right? I look at it like this, right? So the whole fight thing. Now, this is how this comes about. Okay, you got a nigga with millions of fucking dollars walking into a bowling alley. First of all, people is non-realistic. They acting like he was supposed to come by himself to a fucking bowling alley, whereas the whole city looked like they was there. You know what I mean? You don't know who was who in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. The second thing is this, right? As I'm watching the fight, because I'm non-biased, so I'm gonna critique it the way that other people won't. Like, fan of Dababy, of course, gonna be on his side. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of Dababy. What I'm doing is I'm looking at two people that's neutral, and I'm just looking at what I would have done in that same situation, and I feel like I would have done exactly what Dababy did. You know what I mean? And my whole thing is this. First of all, I want to say, when Dababy took off, he went out there in the field with the nigga. He didn't look back for his niggas to help him. You know, even though he probably knew that they was, just being realistic, right? He probably knew that they was. You know what I'm saying? He probably knew when he took off, his other niggas was finna jump right in. He knew that. I'm pretty sure he did. But at the end of the day, he was a man. He stood up, he took off, and that's what he did. You know, secondly or thirdly, whichever fucking number I'm on, you know, realistically, if I come with you and I get into a fight, man, if you do not jump in this fight, bro, and I'm in this crowded ass bowling alley, I don't know who around me or who is who, and you telling me you just gonna sit there and watch me fight, and I'm the main nigga in here, like, I'm the nigga who taking care of y'all. I'm the reason why y'all wake up every day with money in your pocket and eating, and your family eating, and nigga, please, you telling me, listen, man, y'all gotta start being realistic about this, okay? This is just being realistic. Period, man. I don't care if you was a group of girls. If you a group of girls and somebody go in there and they talking crazy to your girl, and they get to fighting and y'all just stand there watching, y'all ain't they friend, fam. And I'm just keeping it real. I don't know who raising y'all nowadays. I don't know how y'all look at friendships nowadays, but I don't care if my friend right or wrong. At that point in time, we getting down. You know what I mean? If it's already jumped off, I'm not finna sit back there and try and be the peacemaker once it done jumped off. It's just action now, and then we can speak afterwards. But right now, we finna get down. You see what I'm saying? If I couldn't break it up beforehand, I'm not finna break it up in the middle of the damn fight. Don't even make sense. Now we just finna get down and, hey, you know what? If my mans was wrong, then we'll talk about that when we get back to what we need to get back to. But right now, we finna beat every fucking body up in this bitch that we got to until we get up out of here. And that's bottom line, man. It is no in between. It ain't nothing in between that. Yeah, you could have did it you could have did it a million, he could have did it a million different ways. He could have did it a million different ways. He didn't have to take off on the man. And to being realistic, he would listen, man. Being realistic, I'm not finna come and talk to you. We ain't got nothing to talk about once you done already threatened me online, talking about I'm gonna catch a fade when you see me. You see what I'm saying? Realistically, man, this is real life. Like, if a nigga sitting online, you got millions of views, and you know what I'm saying, talking like, hey, when I see you, it's on. Then it's on. Then it ain't my fault that you came slipping. It ain't my fault you didn't bring your people. You know what I mean? It ain't my fault you not thinking realistically. You see what I'm saying? It ain't my fault. You the one got caught lacking. It ain't my fault, period. If you would have came with your boys, it would have been a brawl. You know what I mean? Y'all would have probably won. But at the end of the day, man, can't nobody blame that man or his team for what they did. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Ain't no way you finna be on my crew. I'm feeding you and your family. You with me every day, nigga. We sleeping in buses and cars and hotels and all kind of shit together, fam. And you telling me that when you see me take off on a nigga, you gonna stand there and watch? Then you better stay there with that nigga when we leave up out of here. And I promise you, you better not come outside. I'm shooting your ass too. Bottom line, man, I'm not playing for real, bro. Like, y'all do not think realistically, and I'm gonna tell you why y'all don't think realistically. Like, it's definitely a reason why, and it's not a bad reason why. The reason why is because y'all ain't street niggas. A lot of y'all ain't hood niggas. So when you don't come from that type of environment, you don't live by that type of code, you don't understand the street code, then how can I expect you to understand what you seen on camera? All y'all looking at is 8 niggas jumping on one, but you ain't looking at cause and effect. You see what I'm saying? You ain't looking at what you supposed to do for your friends and for your family. I'm fighting with mine, whether they right or whether they wrong. If I can end it before it start, I'm gonna try to do that. If it makes sense to do that, only if it makes sense to do it. But at the end of the day, if my guy kick it off, he hit a nigga, and I'm already knowing I'm gonna have to hit 3 niggas that they might not even be ready to swing off. I don't care. I'm swinging off, bro, because that's how it's supposed to be. Bottom line, we finna fight about this motherfucker, bro, and we gonna get up out of here. Bottom line, bro. It's crazy. It's like a double-edged sword, just being a man, period, and just trying to protect, defend yourself. Because had Dababy pulled out a gun and shot the nigga, now why he ain't fight him? But soon as he swing off and hit him, now it's why y'all had to jump him. You know what I'm saying? You can't win for losing, man. Like, come on, man. The man was a man. He took the first swing. I don't care how many more niggas came behind him. Dababy took the first swing. Bottom line. So, that's my take on it, man. I just feel like when people looking at this, I feel like, look at it realistically. Look at it from a realistic perspective. Look at the loyalty that you have to your friends and to your family. You take your mama out, or you take, your sister out, and it's just somebody in there that they don't like each other. Don't matter. They don't like each other. This chick threatened your sister online. So what your sister supposed to do? Sit there and go and talk to her in the corner? Like, come on, man. Let's be realistic. For real. So if your sister take off on a girl, what you gonna do? Stand there and watch your sister? Man, listen. Ain't none of y'all being realistic about it. Until you do, you ain't gonna never understand why they had to do what they had to do. I get it though. And I approve that message. They need to show that, because that's what more y'all need to do for y'all friends. And this is another thing about friends, right? Because everybody like, that's their security. Their security was supposed to do what they listen. That's this guy, man. Why the hell would I hire outside security nigga that don't know nothing about me to protect my life, knowing he can set me up at any given time? No, I'ma hire a nigga that's close to me. You know what I mean? That understand the security shit, and if he don't understand it, I'ma teach it to him. I'm gonna put him through security school and all that. Make sure his credentials and stuff right. Come on, man. That's his guy. So it's double. I'm security and this my man's. You know what I mean? Like, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, man. Bottom line. Oh, he pulled dude here. Well, how? Listen, you out there slipping on the floor. You in the face of the enemy. And you can't get a grip on him, just grabbing his clothes or grabbing, nothing else. Neither one of y'all can get a grip on each other. What else you gonna grab? What leverage what you gonna do? Let him get the leverage? Or you gonna get the leverage? No, I'm gonna get the leverage, nigga. Your hair hanging out, so I'm gonna grab it, nigga. Come on, man. I'm talking about realistic. Realistic. Let's be realistic about it. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? If y'all gonna sit here and tell me that they was wrong, make it make sense how they was wrong. Make it make sense to me. Because right now, it's a lot of people out there ain't really making no sense to me. And you know what? I'm trying to agree with y'all. I want somebody to be able